here for our survival. But we don't want to just survive. We want to thrive.
I love it. Thank you for sharing all that. I was just kind of thinking a little bit, the empowerment nature and becoming aware of the programming and what the magnet is doing is such a huge part. It's the 95% of our experience, give or take a couple percentiles here and there. Is there ever a time where it's okay to have the locus of control externally, or is it just comfortable for us to do that sometimes?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So that question I hear a lot, and I think maybe what we want to ask is, are there, people hear this, and what happens is there are some people that immediately go to, well, Suzy, this can't be right because we're not in control of everything. Like, how am I in control of COVID, or how am I in control of the economy, right? And there are some schools of thought that will say, in some way, because we're all interconnected, we're all responsible for the energy that's out there, and that's probably true to some extent. It's true enough to be true. But for our own personal lives, we didn't consciously want this. So I'm not going to say we're in control of everything that happens around us. But what we do have control over, which is so hard, and I own this because I see this in my own life. Like, if I get a blood test back and I'm out of range in one of the areas or something, I immediately can notice my mind go to the worst. Like, oh no, here we go, right? That isn't based on rational reality. It's based on a fear down here from when I was younger and when I got sick, and you worry because you don't have the tools. So your brain sort of has this cellular memory. So no, I would say whether we are aware of it or not, we're all creating the perceptions and beliefs we have based on the past experiences and the pattern matching. So we all have an internal locus. It's just we may not be aware of it. We might be thinking it's something else or something triggered it. When you really understand the control you have, you understand that, again, I'm a person of faith. So I do believe that God works in our lives and through our lives and is ultimately in control, but we have free will. What you really understand is that you do control what you are doing with the things that happen in life. And that's what I'm talking about by feeling more in control. So it rains outside. I'm not in control of the rain, but I'm in control of what I wear. Do I take an umbrella? Do I leave extra time on the road? Do I let this get me down? And it's really owning the reaction and the response and not outsourcing your emotions to other people that allow you to change. And eventually you don't even get triggered. You build new systems of resilience so that, you can handle things in life and we don't fall apart. And this is a tough time for people. I'm talking to people who aren't even necessarily exposed or worried about COVID, even though it's serious and it's real and it's very awful. I mean, nobody, want it. And, my heart breaks for those that have suffered and died from it. So you have people though that they're freaking out about other things, right? Because there's so much fear and anxiety in the world and they're concerned. So this really helps us restore that. And it gives you simple systems that work. It's not just like we're talking right now and people are listening going, this all sounds great. Wish I could do it. I know. The conventional way, I would tell you it won't work because it's too much reliant on this part of the mind. And that's not where the problem is. It's like trying to get a sliver out in the wrong finger. You're not going to get it out because it doesn't live here. It lives here. So that's the good news. If you've been trying stuff and it hasn't been working